What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're just going to be covering a few things that I learnt from the internal trial that was Friday night. And it was a beautiful night at Alberton Oval, watching the boys hit it out for the first time in 2020 in a competitive match, which saw the black team get across the line. It was a difficult game to sort of grasp on exactly what things were happening, because so much was changing around with teams, with players going to different teams at different stages. The second half did look a bit more like it was a best 22 versus the rest of the squad, but in saying that, there were a few name changes here or there. So let's get straight into this video and see what I learnt from the internal trial of Port Adelaide. Definitely the people that were there would have enjoyed the great atmosphere that was Alberton Oval Friday night, and one of the main things I did learn from that game, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on this one, is the kids that we picked up in the draft just gone are certainly going to be another great addition to the side. Our recruiting staff have been nothing short of phenomenal over the last couple of years, especially with the group that Rosie, Butters and Dersman, etc. were the previous year, and now obviously with Bergman, Georgiadis, and also Williams as well. We'll see Jackson Mead throughout the Marsh series, and Piscini was even looking great as well down back on Charlie at some stages as well. So that's one of the key things from the last 2 years, is we haven't performed on the field but off it in terms of recruiting, and the players that we have brought in, the youngsters, they're just going to bring an exciting formula to the team. Might not be now, might not be as big of an impact as it will be in 5 years' time, but certainly those key players. And Georgiadis is a round one lock for me already. Obviously we'll watch him through the Marsh series and see how exactly he goes against the opposition. It's hard to grasp exactly how good they are when you're playing against yourself, but you only can play who is put on you on the night. And you know, his performance, his attack on the footy was nothing short of exceptional. It was just great to see in the air, on the ground. He was just always there when the ball was around him, and it certainly proved to be a bit of a handful, especially early on and deep down forward. He's jumping over players like Charlie Dixon. He's moving the ball so freely. He's got a great kick on him, and it's just nice and refreshing to see someone of that caliber down forward. So I can definitely see him mixing with the likes of Butters and Rosie down forward. As Rosie, speaking of, it just looks like he's just even more dangerous than he was last year, and that's a pretty high caliber to match, and he certainly has really taken his game to another level, and it's only been an internal trial and an off season. He just looks fit, he looks firing, he looks motivated, and his attack on the footy, both in the midfield and up forward, we've got an exciting machine on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly going to be something to watch over the coming years. And I think the main thing as well for Rosie is that he's got so much more upside than what he's showing at the moment. Yet, what he's showing right now is some of the best football Port Adelaide has seen in the last couple of years. So I'm very much looking forward to his 2020 season. Another thing that I did learn, and it's got to do with the big fella, big Charlie Dixon. He's fit and firing. He's got his grab back. And that's probably the main thing that we've wanted for so long, is Charlie to take those two big hands of his and just wrap it around the footy. Clunk those marks. Have those big set shots. He did it.
Slight right to left. Yep.
Oh my God! The roast! Bang one from 60 metres. Nothing better than seeing the crowd enjoying that moment, particularly because the crowd were looking for stuff like that. Something to take away. Oh, Charlie, his attack on the footy is brilliant. Yeah, we can't take that away from him. But to take those clunking marks, those big pack marks, he did it time and time again. It was moving so freely. He looked fit. He looked big. He nearly killed Zach Butters at one stage, but I think he held it back because he knew it was his teammate. And if that was an opposition player, I can tell you right now, Charlie Dixon would have murdered him. But to see Big Charlie doing the things he was Friday night is only going to be more exciting through the Marsh series and into the 2020 season. I hope he continues that and it shows against the opposition. I don't want to give false hope to people because it was an internal trial, but I very much look forward to seeing him producing that kind of football week in, week out if his body holds up. Houston versus Boak in the midfield it was at one stage. White versus black. The two teams were on separately, and to tell you what, they were punching. Well, not punch. It was, theoretically, they were punching on. So one was throwing a punch, the other was getting at him, and Boak and Houston working very nicely as a duo in the middle, and obviously with Ken saying that Houston will play predominantly midfield full time in 2020, him with Boak is going to be an exceptional duo to watch. See how they move. They move so freely. Boak's fit as ever. Houston's got a beautiful kick on him. They're just hitting targets. They know they're smart in the middle. Those two are very smart, and you can see that on Friday night. They were just moving the ball to the exact positions. They know the structure. They know where to kick it. And it's just stuff like that we've lacked at certain stages in the game, and not enough players do it. Is the smartness, and that's what they showed on Friday night. And run down through the list, the likes of Burton, the likes of Amon, they were all fantastic to see, those young crops of players. And the thing I took away from is those 22 to the 25-year-old bracket, those players that are coming into their peak were looking like they're ready to take it on. Amon's looking silky. He's continuing his form on from last year. I hope it goes into the season. Burton obviously had a couple of injury woes through last year, so him showing up some fine form Friday night was good to see. It's only going to get better for those types of players, and I think the main thing I can take away from that is that this core group of youngsters with Houston, Amon, Burton, those types of players are only going to get better. And with the youngsters coming through of Rosie, Butters and Dersma, Georgiadis, it's going to be a good group. It's going to be a great mix to watch. And then you've got mixing with the likes of Laddams and Lysette in the ruck. They were going hand in hand. Laddams looked like he had the upper hand at one stage as well. So that ruck duo is going to be something to watch over the year, whether we go one ruck or two ruck. I think it works better when we have two rucks. Then you've got the likes of Todd Marshall down forward. He was mixing it well, looking great and fit. Looks like he's put on a bit of size too, which is great for a forward. Justin Westhoff down back, centre half back, looks great for him. He was moving freely. He was smart. He was directing players to put him in different positions, put him in the right positions, and that's Westhoff. He's just got that brain about him, that footy brain that when he's on the field, you couldn't tell, but when you watch him, he's directing, he's just smart with his play, and he knows the structure. Putting him at centre half back's great, and you can chop him down forward, and that's what he did Friday night. Went into the ruck at some stage as well, and that's versatile. To have a centre half back like that, I thought having a wing like that was going to be great, but having a centre half back, then you got the likes of Tom Cleary and Tom Jonas playing on the key forwards. It's just that it's a lot better structure, and I know we probably do need that tall defender, sorry. But in saying that, Westhoff's probably the greatest pick to put down there and move around the ball. One other thing I wanted to touch on was Stevie Motlop. Looked great, looked fit. I know it's Stevie Motlop. I know it's very early in the year, but he looked good. He looked fitter, and he was moving the ball really well as well. And that was great to see. He knows he has to perform this year, and I think it's his time to produce some of that good footy that we brought into the club to play. I know it's been a couple of years already, and people are going to say, well, he should be doing it week in, week out, but we just got to hope now. Oh, also, Jack Watts was another one that it was great to see him come back. The crowd really welcomed him back onto the ground, playing good footy. He looked good. It was just great to see him on the ground, moving fit and playing footy well. Well, there you have it, Port fans. That wraps up this internal trial review. So a few things that I did learn. It was great to see the crowd down there at a beautiful Alberton Oval. And I tell you what, if Alberton got a night game, I'd definitely be attending, because it's just a gorgeous scenery down there, and hopefully one day that can become a reality, because it was just fantastic to be a part of and great to see. And I'm really looking forward to us moving into the March series coming up next week. And getting ready for the 2020 season. It's not too far away now. So thank you very much for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content. My name is Anthony, and as always, Cante.